What's up, everybody? I'm joined by Daniel Dhers. Daniel is in Montpellier, France for the UCI Urban World Championships. Daniel, how is everything so far?
Everything's going good, man. Finally made it. But yeah, trying to adjust to all the restrictions and things going on.
So that's essentially the main reason I bowed out of going. Was there's a lot of crazy restrictions attached to this. Now that you are essentially in the bubble over there, could you give us a rundown of how everything is going down?
Yeah, so being in the States versus coming here is a lot different. Here, you gotta wear a mask everywhere, inside and outside, even if you're walking, to your car or something. Today was probably the first day that I saw more people. So we are all divided into populations. So population one is the riders, all the people that are close to us. So like the coaches, judges, and some of the UCI and Hurricane organization. Then you have population two, which I think is the media and some others. We can't really cross paths with them. They use an entire different entrance. Everybody had to get a test today. So if all that comes back negative, then they can enter the event tomorrow. But yeah, it is definitely different. I think maybe I'm feeling it more because in the States, we kind of don't have restrictions anymore. But yeah, you got the catering. So we got the catering is only at the event. You technically can't get food except yesterday they let us order room service. The breakfast is usually here in the hotel. But yeah, it is kind of crazy, man.
So have you ever been to anything like this before? You've been to a lot of BMX events, probably more than anybody else there competing. Is this the first thing like this you've experienced?
I've experienced similar ones. I went to Barcelona last year in November, and everybody had to wear a mask in the streets. But the only other thing that is kind of crazy here is like at 9 p.m. it's a curfew. You can't leave the hotel or anything. So when I look out the window, the streets are absolutely dead after 9 p.m. When I went to Barcelona, it was similar. You have to wear a mask outside, but you could go to the restaurants. Although you couldn't go in, you could at least go and do takeout here. With the regulations or the mandates is like you can't even order food somewhere else outside of the bubble, which in this case is the hotel and the catering service that we had to hire for the whole week full of meals.
So to be clear, which of these are event restriction and which of these are country restrictions?
I think these are country restrictions. So to my understanding, the French government, in order to let this event happen, because it's a world, world championship, we have to follow all these rules. Otherwise, they wouldn't let the event happen. Although UCI and Hurricane, who is a local organizing committee, they have each their own COVID restrictions. Is mainly from the French government. So the crazy part is we have to finish this event by Monday, because Tuesday is the cutout day for all of the Olympic qualification, right? But I think on June 8th, vaccinated Americans could come here without any restrictions. So, the country's about to be open a bit more, but, the event has to happen right before that.
So speaking of the event, how are all these restrictions affecting you, and how do you feel like they're going to affect the other riders? Are you not in your normal mind state, or is this all good, business as usual?
Good question. I think as of right now, I've seen, half probably the riders that are going to compete. And I think everybody's in good spirits just because we haven't had an event or, a big event in the last 19 months. So I think everybody's very excited about it. Also, the restrictions luckily don't apply in certain, if you have your coach, he can still be with you. So you still have people around you. I've been hanging out with Marin. Marin lives with me in the States. Kenneth got here today and we all been hanging out. So it doesn't feel too crazy because, I think as much as you care for the regulations and everything, most of us either got vaccinated or got get a negative test or had COVID right before coming. So, as of right now, I haven't felt anything crazy with the vibe among ourselves. We'll see tomorrow if it gets anything crazier, because we still haven't been able to go to the park. The park is it's indoors. It's in a different part of the building where the catering and all the meetings and everything is being held at right now.
So you still have not physically been to the course?
No, I was able to run in quick, and then they kicked us out. So yes, they're not letting anyone in, but I'm not sure if that is a COVID restriction thing or if it's, with the construction site restrictions, because everything's still crazy in the building.
Let's talk about implications for this event. You had already basically solidified your spot in the Olympics. Is that up in the air at this point now that there's this additional event, or are you good?
I'm good. I think for the men, the only thing that will affect is who qualifies first between Australia and USA. So whoever qualifies first will get 2 riders sent to the Olympics. And right now they're tied. So, I cannot imagine the amount of pressure all these guys are having just because like they have to do well. And it's like, you don't know how everyone's riding yet. You've seen the Instagram stuff, but you haven't seen them in person. I'm sure this is going to play kind of crazy in some of the riders' minds.
And to your point, what you just said, are you confident that further down the list, everybody's good? There isn't going to be any change-ups? Is that even possible?
Not for the men. For the women, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I want to say it could change, but I'm not sure. For the men, they can, because the next guy in the ranking, the only way it could change is if Marin wins the world and also gets like a couple C1s, and the C1s are not in the. There are no more C1s in the calendar for the Olympic qualifications, so there is no possible way for him to qualify at this point.
So does this seem like that's affecting riders' motivation? The fact that like they kind of open it up, there's more qualifying for the Olympics, but the way everything's kind of set up, it's like, but you're still not going to get in.
I think it's more of like having an event more than anything. I think at this point, the Olympics were pretty much solidified once they closed the ranking last year. It'll definitely affect the USA, Australia guys, just because they definitely have something to lose here or something to win. But for the rest, I think everyone's just excited to go ride something different. Like I've ridden a few smaller events, a bunch of guys have, but it's not the same. Like everyone is here. Like just seeing the entire UK team was kind of crazy. I haven't seen those guys, over a year and a half. And with the USA riders, I probably see them more often. But just everyone being in the same place, I think was going to be. It's interesting. I think it's exciting. So I don't see so far anything too crazy that will affect the regular riders besides, I don't know, the overexcitement from the event.
Now, do you know what happens if somebody shows a positive COVID test?
I would guess he will be quarantined out, and probably they start tracing everyone who was around them. I don't really know. There's not that many guys. I think we have about 46 riders for men and maybe about 20 for women. And then the delegations are a lot smaller. Like UK is only a couple of guys from the delegation. I think USA is maybe 3 people. Australia, I think, is just 1. So, the delegations are a lot smaller than usual. So I don't see, I mean, it could happen, yes, but I don't really foresee that happening.
All right, Daniel, I know you have some important business to attend to. Anything else you care to leave us with before you go out there and get to war?
No, so far so good. It was definitely a different event. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, we had to rent a car. We can't get in taxis or public transportation. We're not allowed to even ride our bike anywhere in the streets. There's another kind of crazy part. So I only been here for a couple of days and I had to be at the event, so I don't feel it too crazy. But I think if I was here for longer, it definitely would have been crazy. But besides that, all good, man. Just getting ready for this weekend and hopefully everything's sweet.
All right, Daniel. Hey, final question. I lied the first time I said that. Do you know if there's a live stream and how people can watch this weekend?
Good question. I want to say there is, but I wouldn't know where. I want to say in the FIS website maybe, or UCI website, there should be a link, but I'm not sure.
Well, you are no help at all there. I will do my research and figure that out and let everybody know. Daniel, good luck out there. Thanks for the time, and go win.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle. See you soon.